I'm sad that you're not a Christian anymore.
The main reason she says that is because
Christians are starting to stand up and speak about our principles.
I hope so.
And I could have used you as a star.
I know.
Andrew Tate could have inspired millions of people to become Christian, but instead he converted to Islam 8 months ago. He inspired me to start reading the Quran, and even his brother Tristan is starting to explore the religion recently. This is why.
And this is one of the reasons why I reverted to Islam, because I feel like the Islamic culture is the strongest. You feel the culture.
The Islamic culture is the strongest. This is what he means with that.
When I go to an Islamic country, I feel God around. You see it. You see it in the way the people are dressed. You see it in the fact that everyone's in a family. You see it in the fact that there's a mosque on every corner. It's in the air.
It's in the air. Around August 2020, he posted this video about Will Smith.
We are changing this to a Muslim channel now. This video has converted me to Islam.
So as you can see, it's been a long journey for Andrew. Now I think you could be only in one of these two scenarios. You're an atheist at the moment, you don't believe in any God, or you are religious and Andrew Tate inspires you to explore Islam for the first time or on a deeper level. Here Andrew explains why at least you should not be an atheist.
And that's why God is so important, because God is a hard line that you cannot be crossed, right?
That's why you will not be libertarian.
That's why I'll not be libertarian.
You will not be libertarian.
That's right. No, but yeah, it's true, because if you have faith, then there's rights and wrongs. Like you said earlier, there's sin and there's good, and there's a line that can't be crossed, and the psyop is very difficult to penetrate. And that's why in the Islamic world, for example, we have very little of these problems, because it's haram.
Problem solved. If you wonder what libertarian means, it is the belief that people should be free to think and behave without limits. And clearly, Andrew doesn't like this for obvious reasons. He thinks God is the answer. And I think he did a great job explaining why Islam in particular. Listen closely.
God should be feared. I believe that God should be feared. I fear God. It's one of the only things I fear. And I believe that also you see God to a degree, or you see religion, how you see yourself. And I see myself as a person of strong principles and strong morals. And I like to think of myself as the kind of person nobody really wants to cross. Not because I'm a psycho, but because I'm a man of capability and I'm smart and I'm strong and nobody wants to make an enemy of me. So I feel like I find an affinity to a belief system which has very similar outlooks. And there's a whole bunch of other things I can say from the Quran and Islamic texts, etc. But to keep it very vague and very broad for people who are not Islamic, I felt God when I was in an Islamic country. If I went to an Islamic country,
that's the problem.
I felt God. You don't feel any God. How is it a Christian country if Satanists are mocking Jesus on the streets?
Even in prison, Islam is taking over. I found this clip from an ex-prisoner in the UK. Very interesting. Listen.
There's no hierarchy in the prison system no more. There's only one strength in the whole of the prison system in this country. It's one strength, and no one's going to master it, and that's the Islamic strength.
It seems like it is the last real community left.
What's the difference with them and other groups? The solidarity. They're all for one and one for the other.
And I think it's beautiful. So I bought the Quran 3 weeks ago and currently at 40% of studying it.
My invitation to anybody is put your preconceived notions aside. Take what you may have heard about Islam, what you may have thought about it from your own faith tradition's point of view. Put all of that aside. And I wouldn't even invite somebody to read the Quran to accept Islam. Read the Quran neutrally and get a first, an unbiased impression. And I would think it's really difficult to not walk away truly being moved by what you're being exposed to.
I will do the same with the Bible. And if you currently an atheist, I highly encourage you to study the religions. To the very least, learn more about life. And that's a wrap for this video. If you wonder who I am, I'm a 7-figure entrepreneur on a self-development journey, just like you. I've linked to another interesting video below this one, and remember, start living your life like it is a documentary, because it is. Someone is just not filming you yet, and God is always watching.
سنريهم آياتنا في الآفاق وفي أنفسهم حتى يتبين لهم أنه الحق.
When truth is hurled against falsehood, falsehood perishes, for falsehood is by its nature bound to perish. They, the disbelievers, want to extinguish the light of Allah with their mouths, but Allah will perfect His light even though the disbelievers hate it. It is He who sent His messenger with guidance and the religion of truth to prevail over all religions. And you see the people entering into the religion of Allah in multitudes.
The world embracing Islam.
Comment.
Follow us.
Please like.
Subscribe.